Hi everyone, welcome to Throneway Dissect, episode 1. My name is Keziah.
My name is Maria,
I'm Christina.
and we're here to talk about, first, we are here to delve into multiple albums and compare Christian artists of various types and delve into all the Easter eggs that they have hidden for us in all their songs. And this week we're going to look into,
Drumroll please. His Glory Alone by KB.
what?
No. Yeah, celebratory.
I mean, I guess you guys are wondering who KB is.
Oh, no, I was. Absolutely.
Yeah, so he was born in Petersburg in Florida, and he had a pretty rough upbringing without a father figure. He had to figure out a lot of things on his own, and I think we'll be able to touch upon a lot of these things while we're going through each song.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, question. What does KB stand for?
Oh, it's a good question. Yeah, Kevin, Elijah, Petersburg.
Oh my goodness, another
No. Kevin, Elijah, Burgess.
Burgess, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally the millionth Kevin in JY.
Yeah. No, another
I
one.
haven't seen
We need
this.
another one. But yeah, I think one thing that's really cool about him is he took so many songs that we already knew about, and he made it his own style. He turned worship into something that we can mix in with hip hop, which I didn't think was actually possible. Have you guys heard of songs from KB before?
Yeah, actually, I was first introduced to KB with the song Crowns and Thorns. I don't know if you guys recognize it. But for any of our viewers, it takes the well-known, most popular Christian song I imagine, Oceans, and then he raps on top of it. And I think it was just really provides a new angle to what was once a very mellow, soft song. And I can appreciate it in a new way.
Yo, until you said that, I realized, I thought mine was 10K, that's where I first heard of him, but I realized, I listened to Crowns and Thorns as well. But other than that, I think it was COVID time, I heard 10K on an Instagram reel, and I was like, wow, this is fire. So that's when I heard of him, but yeah.
Oh, for me, it's when we all did Fiat, and we had a big playlist going on with normal Christian songs. And at a certain point, I was like, I can't listen to this all day long. I need something a bit more hype. And then I found this song called Church Clap, and I added it, and it was a little different. And I'd be like, guys, it's good, trust it's good. And then it was when I realized Christian music could also be a bit more hype. And yeah.
No, that's fair. No, that's what I actually love about KB, how he does that is his signature move, taking these old nostalgic songs and then turning into rap and hip hop, and it sounds sick, right? For example, he takes 10,000 Reasons, Matt Redman's 2011 hit, and he turns it into what 10K is today, which is amazing. And he really opens up his audience, right? So now there's youth and young kids who like to listen to rap and not just typical praise and worship music, and they love it, right? And it goes back to his own story, because KB actually started following God, and he started his journey with God after hearing a Christian rap CD.
No way.
And that's what started it for him. So obviously what he's doing now is just projecting from that, which is so cool.
He's giving back.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
For me, what I love is 10K, there's a music video. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a segment of that music video where it's just clips of individuals dancing to 10K. And mind you, this album came out July 2020, which was peak pandemic time. So everyone was stuck in their homes. It was pandemic was terrible. The fear, the despair, the isolation, the separation, the loneliness, and it kind of sucked. I think for even for Christians alone, it was just a time of hopelessness. At least it definitely was for me. Being stuck in my room all day was definitely tough. And with this particular music video, I just thought it was really cool seeing these youth dance to KB, and then including each of those clips, and then releasing that. It was there's still a sense of community and belonging, and I thought it was really empowering, because it's okay, we may be confined to our own homes, but the Lord is not forgotten. He knows,
he's not restricted by that,
right? We're still here. God is here even in the darkest of times. We're not alone. And then also just again to youth, it's wow, we're not alone, guys. God is here with us even in the toughest of times. So that part, absolutely loved it. And then the flip side to it is the fact that again, I love that KB, his music is so versatile from the typical stereotypical Christian music, because you can take that and do so much more with it. Like I know for me, I'm not a singer whatsoever. I don't play any instruments or anything. So for me, that's just not something I'm drawn to. But I really love dance. I'm not a huge dancer, okay, but I really love dance. And the fact that I was like I was just scrolling on YouTube, and there's a bunch of these like hip hop groups that are just dancing to KB and some of his other songs too, actually. And it's like perfect choreo, which is like just really really cool. So I love that aspect, and then it goes back to like our tagline as well, which is worshiping through the arts, like as his own way.
Right.
It's like we have so many different talents and like to express, and so this was like perfect. I thought it was like it just seamlessly like blended together, which I love so much.
It's exactly what we embody, and it like brings in like more than one. Like you might be interested in singing, and then Keziah, as you mentioned, you love to dance, and it's like you really like got to showcase that through this music video, I think. So that was really cool.
100%. So I love that. I absolutely love that aspect. I mean, it really hit home for me. Another thing that I think KB does really well is that he like connects it back to his own life, showing that like, hey, I went through this, but I still found God in those times. So for example, there's a phrase, like a lyric from his song KB, where he says, "Christ is God. I lost my father, but I never lost my peace." And I really like this because if you guys don't know, he actually never knew his biological father.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
So in one of his documentaries, he actually mentions that he learned how to handle emotions and like his weaknesses in a healthy way because of his stepdad, actually, right? And like I think it's so important for young men and women to have like an important father figure in their lives. And for him, he didn't have a constant person, but he had God the Father to look to and turn to as well, which I thought was really beautiful.
Yeah, I think like even in our own lives, there will be times where our own parents aren't always there, like whether that be physically or mentally, where we need them to be to understand us fully. And that's the one, as you said, the one constant we have is our spiritual father, is God the Father.
Yeah, I think it's so beautiful that even though this is how his life has been going, he chose to still take everything he learned and still be a father figure to his own son. And I see that more in the second song of that album called Little Boy. And he really makes it a personal song for his sons to let them know that they don't have to go through the things that he went through. They don't have to make the same mistakes of seeing the rappers on the streets and making them like their god in a way. And he really directs them in the right direction by being a father figure he never really had.
Yeah. Giving from where he never received. So
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. On that note, Christina, really reminds me of KB's 6th track on the album, Masterpiece, and dare I say, the masterpiece. I know. I'll stop speaking. It's so beautiful because it really is a love letter to his own daughter. It's soulful. It's this piano-driven track, and it's as I said, dedicated to his daughter Nala. And in it, what he's saying is he's telling his daughter, like, I will love you no matter what. You are perfectly and precisely made, and you don't have to do anything to receive love, to receive connection. And
that's such a good point, right? Like I think oftentimes we're kind of like, at least like society kind of puts it on us, where it's like we have to do X, Y, and Z, and only then are we worthy of this. So this, like, only then are we worthy of love. Only then are we worthy of being accepted. We have to prove to people that, this, because of this, now we're worth talking about.
He says that with one line. He just says, "You're a masterpiece, not a piece to be mastered."
Exactly.
So it's just the message you just said, him being able to convey it in one line, it's just so nice.
Honestly, it takes me back to, there's this one Ephesians verse, I think.
I have that.
Oh,
I have
perfect.
That. Yeah. So it's, "For we are what he has made us, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand to be our way of life."
Oh, brilliant. For we are what he made us. And exactly what I said, right? He is, or he has perfectly and masterfully crafted us. And I think that's why it's so appropriate that Jesus was a carpenter. Like, of all professions to pick, he picked something that is requires so much thoughtfulness and precision, time and effort into your workmanship. And it reminds us of how God the Father has created us as individuals, and with all of our quirks and traits, and we are so perfectly and wonderfully made. So it's
just a wonderful piece in that in itself. And then I wanted to really touch on that. Could you repeat what was after good works?
Oh yeah, which God prepared beforehand to be our way of life.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, exactly. And it makes me think of, I don't know, have you guys heard of the acronym RIM by any chance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really interesting to me. So essentially it means R for relationship, I for identity, and M for mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one way as us as Catholics can be reminded of what all these three things are supposed to look like and their connectedness to each other. So one is our primary focus is our relationship to God. That is like what everything really relies upon, and then from that comes our identity. Based and rooted in our relationship with Christ is how we form who we are and what that means. And then from that comes our mission and our way of life and how we are to be. So I really do think Ephesians 2:10 delves into that. And then once again, masterpiece by KB.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing I really wanted us to touch on was the music video for this song. If you guys noticed, I'm a big fan of color, and the first, how it starts off is KB with a young child representing his daughter, and she's wearing all white, and the backdrop is all white as well. So it really, it gives you a focus and like a contrast to looking at that paternal relationship. And then I also wonder, like, why white, right?
Yeah, why white? I was just about to ask why white.
Oh, I'm glad we're on the same page. Yeah. And white is actually the most frequently mentioned pigment in the Bible. Fun fact. Okay. But like, why though, right?
Yeah.
Why white of all colors? And I don't know, like, do you guys have any idea what white might symbolize in the Bible?
Purity.
Yeah, so purity, like cleanse.
Yes.
Like a renewal.
Renewal,
Yeah.
redemption, righteousness. Yeah, and particularly on that purity. And it made me want to think of like, or it made me want to question, why do we wear white for all of our sacraments? Is it
I mean, marriage, your
Is
first
that-
Holy Communion.
Yeah.
Um,
Baptism?
Yeah,
Baptism, confirmation? Yeah.
All of it's white.
Yeah.
Marriage is white too.
Marriage is
white.
white.
Yeah. In
What
my,
about when you die?
I have no idea.
We're not that.
Like anointing of the sick. That's for another episode. But I was, it reminded me to look into this one section from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, so particularly 1243. That's right, I do read the Catechism. And it says, the white garment symbolizes that the person baptized has put on Christ, has risen with Christ. The newly baptized is now in the only Son, a child of God, entitled to say the prayer of the children of God, our Father. And mind blown, like how the white garment that we wear in baptism symbolizes our relationship and our identity as children of God. And I think like that's one thing that I like really think about when I'm watching this music video and his daughter wearing white and himself wearing white as well. Of we see that of what relationship is he depicting in that video? Of what is that to us? What is that to us as daughters, as sons of the risen Lord? So just so beautiful there.
I mean, I really like the fact that this is a personal touch, right, to his daughter, because I don't know if you've heard the song Find Your Way back in the day. He does the same concept of empowering women and really telling them that they aren't what society tells them to be. They don't have to fit into a puzzle piece.
Exactly.
Like, they don't have to be a certain way. But he says the same message, but he's emphasizing that a parent saying it to their daughter is different. That's why he makes another completely new song.
Yeah.
Like, it's emphasizing that the father has to be the one saying it to the daughter. And I think that's just so beautiful.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, Christina, of how we are to be and how we're not meant to like meet up to society standards that are like frankly so unreachable. And it really brings me back to a line in his first verse of the song where he goes, "Just say goodbye, waste your life trying to be a 10, that 10 ain't worth a dime." And really what he's saying is,
that's a fire line.
yeah, he's really saying it's not worth it's like our efforts to meet society's unrealistic standards of how to be is just fruitless. It's a waste of time. It is not even worth a dime. That's funny. You guys can credit for that one. Anyways, moving forward. And then I wanted to talk about two more lyrics from this song. So secondly, when he says in verse 2, "And when you fall, baby, come to me."
So cute.
really tugs at my heartstrings, particularly when I'm envisioning what it must mean for him to have to maybe be crouched down on the ground and have his daughter walk to him.
Yeah.
And she might trip, she might fall, and in her excitement to get to his arms, right?
Yeah.
And he's saying like, when you fall, baby, come to me. Like, don't let that be a hindrance. Like, get up, guys. Like, come to me, come to my arms.
That's so cute. I want to cry. But like, I'm imagining that with like God the Father as well, and how like He knows we're gonna stumble and He knows we're gonna fail, but like He'll come to me. Oh,
Yeah, and his arms are open and wide, and ready to receive us. And I just really appreciate the imagery that KB uses in his song, because it is so easy for me to see how this song relates to our relationship with God the Father as well. And then lastly, in the bridge, he says, "Hear your daddy sing, you're a masterpiece," and oh, what a beauty! And it really reminds me of this one verse from Zephaniah 3:16 that states, "The Lord your God in your midst, the mighty one will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing." Just like Katie says, hear your daddy sing, you're a masterpiece. God is singing over us. He's rejoicing over our own existence. He is so proud of us and happy and content with the way we are. Because, like I said earlier, we're so perfectly and precisely made. And I think this song is just a really good reminder of that message.
And it's so crazy that he knows the right things to say to his daughter specifically and to his sons. And it just really shows that he didn't just get all this like by himself. Like it's from his belief from God, seeing who he truly is. And it had to be God that told him, this is how to be a proper father. This is how to, like, that's the only thing that makes sense, because we just went into his life story of how he hasn't had that role model. So it's like when you ask where did it come from, it's just like, dang, God actually provided this for him and for us.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's so great too for like someone hearing this, especially even his own daughter hearing this. Like, this can be something that she can listen to like through the high school teen years, especially when you're going through it, or even after that, whatever hardship there is. Like, really just like, as you said, like a love letter, and it's just so wholesome and like pure. It's a reminder that a lot of us need when we're faced with society's unattainable beauty standards and whatnot. So, wow, that was cool.
Then, okay, like now we went into such like a deep of his album, but he still has hype moments.
Right.
Let me wave the tears.
I know. Like it's not just like Mellow.
Gotcha.
There's Armies. Have you guys heard Armies?
Yes,
That's like one of his popular songs.
Yeah.
He
He's
is
literally bringing us into battle. He's calling Satan himself. He's just like, come, face me. And the album just gets so hype with the amount, the instrument choice, the hip hop style that he uses. It's just such a good song, and he's relating it back to a story in the Bible where the Israelites were, I think, losing during one of his battles, and God sent a whole army of angels to go in and fight for them, and he's taking that as his strength whenever he's going into this war. He's like, yo, there's this one line, it's like, life ain't been the same since death died. And that one it's just so cool, because he really reminds us that there is no battle. Like, it's been done. Like, Jesus has already won this war.
He's victorious, yes.
Yeah, so this song really just brings us back to, like, where we should be in our faith, not be, like, all scared of the world and all the labels that we're putting on ourselves as women and stuff, so.
And this too, right? It goes off of Chris Tomlin's song.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so it's again like typical KB signature move.
He really does takes the classics and then adds his own personal like twist to it.
And spots.
Yeah.
Very KB of him.
But then there's another song that we like. I think it's called This Is Life.
Oh yes, banger.
Which, like, do you know about this one?
This is life. From what I know about it, he takes like typical way of like he takes the older songs and then switches it up again. What I love the most is This Is Life and Let It Rain. They're very hard hitting because it just kind of reiterates the motto that he lives by, which is his glory alone. So in everything that he does, so whether it be the music he makes, the book that he's written, by the way, called Dangerous Jesus, and even like all his performances to like the fans he meets, all of his interactions, to him being like a father, a performer, all his roles in life, it's whatever he does, he gives it to the glory of God, and he praises God in everything that he does. which is honestly the biggest takeaway from this album as a whole, right? So like whatever we do in our daily lives, like offer it up to God. Whatever we like as a student, as a daughter, as a sister, whatever, even like the most like mundane of tasks, maybe doing the dishes, just glorify God in that one act.
Yeah.
I think it's just so beautiful.
I love the humbleness with that song in that case, because he could really take all the praises that people are giving. You're such a cool Christian like rapper. You're so one of a kind. Yeah. And he could just take all those praises and like those and see himself as an idol and start changing the way he is. But he still chose to write a song to remind everyone that, because it's based off of the song So Will I. And that song, yeah, so that song is about creation and how creation has to bow down before God. And he is making sure that we know that his songs and his works, all the great things he's doing, is part of that same creation that's bowing down. So it's so nice that he still is humble and reminding us that we shouldn't be like, go KB, but rather go God.
100%.
So, yeah.
That's so sick, though. It's the title of the album, His Glory Alone, and also the name of his rap group, HGA. It really is just that, a reminder that everything we do is for the glory of God. Like you said, Keziah, with 10K, with worship through the arts, in whatever, maybe singing, dancing, whatever it is that we can praise and worship and glorify him. And then in Masterpiece, when we talked about our relationship with God the Father, what does that look like? And that assurance that we have of how he sees us, that perfectly and wonderfully we're made. And then in Armies, when we discussed that we're not alone in this journey of life, in our struggles, in our highs and lows, we have this army of the angels and saints with us. I think it was a really beautiful analysis and conversation about this album. So thank you guys for joining me on this conversation, and thank you to our viewers and listeners for viewing and listening so attentively. But I think that's it for us. So thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.